Rewind for right the road. Last night. What do you guys know about that? Ring of the air for Gene Dunn. Twisted Kitty. The final push of the World Championship.
Hey, Jason Schultz here with the Beer Money Pulling Team. Thanks for watching our YouTube video. Thank you for following us on Welcome to Beer Money Pulling Team. Sit down, shut up, and hang on. Sit down, shut up. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy May Day. Welcome Jeff Hirt to Let's Grow Pulling Live. It's all about the Pullers Championship tonight. We're 2.5 weeks out from our favorite event of the year. We kind of came up with this crazy idea a couple years ago to have an outdoor Louisville, and we got to have the mini rods in there this year. And even better, what's more exciting than mini rods than having Jeff Hirt drive a mini rod? Charles, Brent, Ryan, how are you guys tonight?
Not too bad, sir.
Good. Jeff, can you hear us okay? It appears that Jeff's internet doesn't want to
That is
work.
the most motionless I've ever seen Jeff in my entire
Yeah,
life.
somebody should take a snapshot of this. Jeff, are you there, buddy? I know it works because we had him on before when we
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
it worked great last time. I even told him that earlier this afternoon.
Huh. Jeffrey? Huh. Well, that stinks. Anyway, May 19th and 20th, everybody, the Pullers Championships. If let's say you've been living under a rock, you've never heard of our event. We got together in 2021 and said we're going to have an outdoor Louisville, and we invited the top points winners, finishers, top 3, top 4, kind of depending upon the class, what the guys came up with from the Outlaws, from the NTPA, from the PPL, and some other major state associations, and put that in there. And then these pullers have until the end of the year to accept or decline their vote, right? And then we go from there. Then the rest of the spots are filled up by the fan vote. I think we had hundreds of thousands of fan votes this year, like 3 or 4 times more than we had last year. So really, really excited for that, to get that engagement. Hirt, can you hear us?
Thought I heard him.
Yeah,
I
so
thought I did too.
I'm going to kick him off and then just let him come back on because I'm not sure. He just needs to get a better signal a little bit. But tonight we got 3 awesome guests tonight. The next Mondays leading up to our Let's Grow Pulling is going to be all about the Pullers Championship. Tonight we have Jeff Hirt. We're trying to get him on with a decent internet signal. Sydnee Summers is going to come on about 20 past the hour. And then Doug Meissinger, our Grand National. Our swept the diesel Superstock, took it to the Grand National guys. And there was a lot of people that didn't know who Doug Meissinger was a year ago at this time. And there's a lot of people who know who that fella is now because of what he was able to do against Schlabach, Bone Twister, all the top diesel Superstocks in the country. So the good man out of Goodland, Kansas, will be joining us here about 40 past the hour. We're hoping Jeff can come back on here again. So.
I shot him a message, just told him, whatever you did last time, do that again, try to come back in. So
we just had Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Don Slama came on tonight there. That was a good show. Did an interview, and then Don came on, did some live questions there. And speaking of Don Slama, he is one of the classes, the Super Farms, that got added to the show this year. Brent handed out surveys to all the pullers and to the fans, and the guys really worked on it. And it was just, we took the feedback from you, the fan, from you, the puller, and we moved some classes around. I think we all agree we're never going to have the same classes every year.
No.
You're always going to have pro stocks, let's be real. But I think some of the classes we're going to rotate around. Our goal is a 4-hour show or less. I'm trying to explain this. 2 tracks. And again, we are working hard to collect enough sponsorship to pay for all of our fixed costs. So every single dollar from the pull, from the gate, from the live stream goes back to the pullers. Trying to keep up with Mike Connie for $10,000 to win there, like he did at the Mac trailer. I was hoping to have fun with Hirt. I was going to say, dude, can I borrow $10,000? I need some pulling parts. But,
Yeah, and I just want to give an update on sponsorship here. Last year was a little bit tougher to get sponsorship. This year, I mean, we've done pretty well, and so we're still taking sponsorship. So if you want to sponsor, know somebody that wants to sponsor, or may be interested, just reach out to us. But we are at a point that every sponsorship dollar from here on out will go into the purse. So the more the more sponsorship we get at this point, the more money that we pay to the pullers.
Yep.
It's all gravy from here out.
So last year, and then if you're a puller and you're watching this and you're competing at the Pullers Championship, take these next 18 days, guys. Get some stuff up on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use for social media. Because the more people that come to this event or pay for the live stream, the bigger your purse is going to be. And that's what kind of makes it fun. It's kind of like one of those progressive bingo pots there. We're hoping to get Jeff back on here. It's a circle of death. What do you call that in the IT world, Yaron?
The circle of death.
There he is. Jeffrey Hirt. So once we hear Jeff talk to us, we'll start talking a little bit. But we added the mini rods this year. This help me out, guys. Super Farm tractors and four-wheel drive mod trucks.
Correct. Yep. And they replaced the Pro Stock diesel trucks, the Unlimited Super Stocks, and
two-wheel drive.
So,
Okay. So, and again, we'll hand out surveys after the event again this year for the following year to kind of see.
those surveys will be on our website, and then we'll share them to the Facebook page as well. So you'll just have to click a link. It's, I don't know, 8 questions or something like that. It's nothing too crazy, but we just want to get feedback from those who watched the live stream to those who attended the event and to the pollers. We just want as much feedback as possible to make this bigger and better every year. So that's what we were just trying to do. And like I said, we had a lot of awesome feedback last year, that some things that we just didn't think of. I mean, doing a big event like this for your first time, you're bound to kind of miss something. And last year was garbage cans. So
yeah, I was gonna bring up trash cans
for this year. So if you make it this year, that will be one thing. One of the other big complaints was those sitting on the pit side near the announcer's tower, that there were some speakers. They had a new speaker system put in last year. And they forgot to hook up one set of the speakers, so you couldn't hear when you're in that spot. So
that's going to be a lot different this year.
Yeah, we were able to figure that one out before the June poll then last year, and it was much better. So if you are sitting on that side, you should be able to hear. Shouldn't have any issues with that.
One thing I wanted to ask everybody tonight, if you're a regular to our show, you're here every Monday night, you probably know about the Pullers Championship, right? But if you're not, I just really we really need all of you to make a post about the event and let people know what's going on. Jeff, can you hear us?
I can.
Awesome.
There he is.
Hey, Jeffy.
The first question we have is, Jeff, can we borrow 10 grand?
I got.
I think he said yes.
I didn't hear very clear no. So.
It's already spent.
It's already spent.
Oh, damn. There goes that idea.
Dang it. Well, Jeff, we're excited to have the mini rods as part of the Pullers Championship this year, and we're excited to have you driving a mini rod. And you have stepped into that, sat in that seat, and done very well right out of the get-go. Obviously, with the big win at the Mac Trailer Winter Nationals just a month ago. What's that?
Not a good time to have poor internet, I guess.
Can you get him, Charles?
It's being real spotty.
Okay.
You need to take like one step one way, and it'll be fine.
It's usually what all it takes, isn't it?
Laptop to my phone, and it didn't seem to help.
Whatever you're doing now is good.
So,
don't move.
All right.
Jeff, can you hear us? Jeffrey? Anyway, we have Jeff Hirt with us in spirit with us currently. His mini rods and his unlimited super stocks run better than his internet does. So they're in Port Clinton, Ohio. Charles, how far is Port Clinton from you, buddy?
Ooh, he's a good 3 hours away.
Is he?
Yeah, he's all of an hour southeast of Bowling Green. So
okay. Charles, will you text him and just see if he can maybe? Does he look like he's at the house? I can't tell.
I think he's at the
did the show last time.
I think he's in the
he's
shop.
in the shop.
Okay. So, Adam Wilson said last year was already good. This year is going to be great, no doubt about it. Brett, we thank you for all your promotional support, Adam Wilson. You are the man. Built Diesel Mafia, getting the word out there. Brad Caudell
for being a sponsor as well for the second
thank
year in a
you
row.
for that too, Adam. Brad Caudell wore my TPC shirt this weekend to get the word out. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah,
probably sat in his house and watched Netflix. What's that?
Design should be done here shortly, so we should have the t-shirt design and t-shirts coming here. So they will be for sale at the event again.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
I did see one in there about Digging Fever, not going to be able to make it. Unfortunately, with them lightening up the tractor to pull Light Super full time, they are waiting on some parts, so they will be unable to make it. And we have its replacement already. The post will be tomorrow, but it is Ryan Henley and Night Trouble. So another diesel is replacing a diesel.
Yeah, that we want to, Charles and Leroy want to mix it up a little bit. I know Adam Wilson gets excited seeing diesels in the light super class.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yep. And actually, there's potentially a second diesel coming because Todd Magee did not get his turbos yet. And so as right now, we reached out to the Little Bad Alice team, and we will see if they accept or decline that.
You know, and I think
I know what that answer is going to be.
Yeah, it sounded like Bernie was pretty sure he's going to come, but he's going to verify that and make sure.
How many media passes did we give out this year, guys?
Well, it was originally 10, and then Morgan Schulte forgot to put it in his application, so we made an exception, and it's 11. So it's all everybody that applied to get one.
Well, I wanted to give a shout out to Brad Sturgeon down there. You guys, if you're coming to video this event, we need you to tell your fans where you're going before. Because that's one thing we all need to do a better job of, is letting people know where we're going to be videoing, where our content's going to be at, because that helps the promoter. All right, that promoter's putting on that show. You get to throw it on YouTube, make a couple bucks, Facebook, whatever. Please let people know about the Pullers Championship on your social media, on your tags. And the website, you guys, is well done. And I'm not being nice to Yaron, but the PullersChampionship.com has everything. He does this for a living. Well, he doesn't make websites for a living. But he's very proud of it, and it's awesome. So I want to make sure we got there. Eric, Hirt, you look like it might work now.
It sounds a lot better now.
Yeah. It does. Did you plug your battery back in, or what happened there? So
now I turned the modem and the router and all that crap off, turn it back on.
That's a million times perfect. It's a million times better.
Wouldn't it be cool if pulling tractors work that way?
Not really. No Microsoft involved there.
And then you'd have no reason to wear the stupid tractors. I forget what the shirt was, but stupid pulling tractors.
Charles, I'm gonna go look for some pictures. You start doing what you do.
Yeah. How's event prep coming for you with the two minis? Did you have a lot you had to go over to get them ready?
They are apart right now, going to the neighbor shop down there at API. Kyle Lucas is going to put the new angle bars in the roll cage and that to try to get compliant to NTPA's new situations.
I'd kind of forgotten about that change all you guys had to make. Yeah.
Yep. It just a little time, nothing crazy. It's just kind of one of those deals.
For sure. Big setup changes for you with the minis other than that, or you kind of continue with the program that you've sort of learned to master a bit?
We're still learning, but I'm not smart enough to make any changes yet because I really haven't figured out why what works does.
That's a fair thing. I was curious going, having 25 years experience with the supers and sitting way up high on top of them and having turbo power, how much of a transition it was for you, both in terms of driving feel and tuning them up with going to a blower from a turbo as well.
A lot different. Trying to figure out where we can be. Don't have a lot of extra money to hurt this as easily, and not that we hurt the super, it just does what it wants to do. This thing here kind of Boyd and Leistner's and them, they get that program working well to where it's about exactly what you said at all that. I just got to learn how aggressive we can be and when to be and when not to be.
Have you been able to tell a big difference between the two when you drive them?
I haven't. We've had, it seems like every time we've been on a good pass, we've had an ignition box fail. I think it's been on the track like 13 times and for 6 boxes to do that.
There seemed to be a stretch where guys were going through boxes a lot.
Seemed like either they work or they don't. I mean, if the guy goes through, like you say, a stretch of it, everybody I've talked to says it just can't really tell you why or what. And it's sure frustrating, though.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's never a thing you can point a finger at and say, all right, I know why now.
Yeah, I'm not that smart. I mean, somebody out there's got to be able to fix these. But
you would think. You'd think. How much of driving a Mini is, in terms of making a run, is premeditated, and how much is you actually being able to react?
You have to react, but I think a lot of it's more of the situation where, kind of like a truck show and that. I mean, Adam Bauer and several others come up to me and told me, they said, don't wait on it. Don't be slow. And it just goes against the way we try to run our big tractor and that. I usually try to drive it out of ways and compared to the other guys. And it's a lot of learning to do yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of instinct to unlearn from what you're used to.
Yep. That too. Yeah. It's hard to push the throttle that fast and that on the other one, it don't work and such. So just like you say, is to unlearn bad habits or whatever, as far as it goes for this, you just keep trying is all we can do.
For sure. Do you see anything on the horizon for that class? Is there any scuttlebutt about, we saw everything with a 2-wheel drive with the tires. Is there anything out there in the wind about what's going to happen with mini rod tires?
Haven't really heard anything. I know a while back Nichols was talking of trying something. I've heard rumor that they're not going to do that yet, but I don't know one way or another. It's all just been rumors.
Fair enough. As far as your engine program, who are you working with on the Hemis? Are you with Sassy for all that, or?
No, it's all come from Boyd and that, and
Okay.
Shannon Lice has helped along the way here, and some stuff there that I bought a farm and that. We're trying to keep some costs down, do as much of it ourselves as we can, and that, and so Shannon's been helping me some, and still talk to Max frequently and that. And he's been good help in the background there to keep going, and Steve and Greg and Austin, they'll all text me once in a while, like after truck show. Proud moment for see the deal do what it can do.
For sure. I know at the end, when they said they were getting out of it, they were still going to help with their existing customers, but it's been a couple of years now, so I wasn't sure really still how involved those guys were being with things. So kind of glad to hear that they still got a little bit of a toe in the water about it.
Yeah, good people.
For sure. Absolutely agree. What's your summer look like after Pullers Championship? Is it all mini all the time? The Supers coming out? Mix of both?
The wife and I sat, he was talking a little bit earlier. It's there's one weekend there where I really kind of wanted to run Love's deal. We want to try to run all the points hooks with the Super, and we'd like to run the PL Minis. Well, I told her we'll just have to see how the Minis are doing. Hopefully she's comfortable enough, things are going off, I can send a buddy with her to Love's Pull or vice versa, however it's working. See if I get another friend to take the Super somewhere, and I go with the other Mini to Wapakoneta or whatever. But there's 3 events I'd like to be at in the same day, and it's going to be hard to do.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge. I know you're persistent enough to find a way to make it all happen.
Or not smart enough to not try, maybe it's more like it.
Oh, you don't give yourself enough credit. You've been at this a long time. You know what to do.
Are you going to Sullivan's poll, Jeff?
I will not be. I would really like to, but Dad started this business 50 years ago here, our lawn and garden shop, and we're having an open house. It's we always do it that Mother's Day weekend, coincides with the family across the road of ours that has a greenhouse and that. So it's just kind of a big event for the business, so we're just not going to be able to make it.
Gotcha. I saw you've been advertising some stuff on Facebook about something you have coming up. So, a celebration. Are you planning on going to Farley?
Ooh, that's still up in the air. I'd kind of like to, but depends how farming's going and tractors and everything.
Yep. Yeah, you need more shit to do, Hirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Russ Dostal says, Jeff, what's more of a rush, the super or the mini rods?
Really depends on the pass. I mean, it seems like a good pass on the minis. It's just comfortable. It's just fast and comfortable. A real good fast pass on the big tractors, a little more exciting, but the minis always close to the edge, out of control, I guess.
Yep. And that's why we want them at the Pullers Championship, because the fans want to see them. They're awesome. They are awesome. So
definitely a great class to watch.
it is. It
And
is.
be part of.
Yeah, I'm glad you got into it. We're seeing more and more guys get into it, obviously, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Well, I don't know if it made sense for you or not, Jeff, having a big super. We saw all the mod guys and the two-wheel drive guys get them, and very few tractor guys have one, right? What I would call a traditional tractor, if I will. I guess you're a spark plug guy, so yeah, it makes sense. So, Mike, Steph, Jeff, what do you do in your free time? Laugh out loud. So.
Jeff,
Hey, Jeff, how old are your kids now? Jeff?
Lane will be 12. Brett's 10, and Lily's going to be 6.
Which one of them have that Jeff Hirt, balls to the wall, do whatever it takes mentality?
My daughter.
Your daughter. Awesome. I'm just looking for the next generation of Hirt puller. I'm getting excited for this. So, no, I'm getting excited for this.
She has no fear.
Well, Jeff, we got 3 guests coming on tonight. We just wanted to get you on for a quick hitter. Just thank you for coming to the Pullers Championship. Help us spread the good word about this event. The more people that come, the more people that buy the live stream, the bigger the purse will be for you, Jeff, and all of your fellow competitors. So can't wait to see you. Just was super excited when we saw you get on the list, and it's going to be a blast. You always put on a good show, no matter what class you're in.
I appreciate that, and can't wait. It'll be a lot of fun, and hope all goes well and turns out to be a great event.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jeff. Have a good night, buddy.
Hey, wait, before you,
Thanks,
Jeff,
guys.
before you go,
Appreciate it.
Hold on, Jeff. Jeff.
Jeff,
Okay, hold on.
One more question, and I've
Yeah.
never asked this one of you, I don't think. If you could take any other vehicle from any class and pulling past or present, go pulling with it for a weekend, what would it be? Where would you pull it and why?
Probably would have been double stuff at Toma.
At where?
Toma.
Attaboy.
I don't think anyone's ever said double stuff before.
I don't
No,
think so
I think
either.
that's the first we've heard double stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I think that thing got sold down the road too fast. They was getting close right there at the end, but it was a neat piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Where's that all at now?
All right, guys. What that? What was that, Jason?
Where's that all, Jeff? Is any of it left? Any chassis or parts, or where's it all at?
I don't know where the chassis went. I think maybe Bargy got one of the motors, and maybe Shoemaker the other.
Gotcha.
Not 100% sure.
Good deal.
Well, thanks, Jeff, for coming on.
Yeah, we appreciate it, buddy.
All
We'll
right,
let
guys.
you go now.
See you in a couple weeks.
Perfect. Yes,
See
sir.
you, buddy.
Well, I wish his internet would have worked a little quicker, but we all know how that goes, right? So
Yeah.
it happens.
Are you guys
Sydnee
ready?
Summers, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on. Let's Grow Polling Live. We are so excited to have you at the Pullers Championship in Nashville, Illinois, May 19th. What is that?
What's what?
Sorry. I was trying to get some video queued up with the limited pros, and I can't do two things at once. So I apologize, guys. So.
You're better at that than I am. I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, I want to do better, and I want to have them all queued up ahead of time. They have these new formats now. You can lay them out. It's kind of cool, so we can do stuff like this, but it's all good. It's all good. Sydnee, welcome to Let's Grow Polling Live. You obviously are friends with all of us, and we enjoy you a lot, and you do a lot for the sport of pulling. You're famous on TikTok. You go to Kansas State. Let's talk about your life a little bit and tell us how excited you are to come compete with the best of the best at the Pullers Championship.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm finally starting to get a little nervous, but I'm ready. I'm hoping we start the season on a better foot than we did last year. That's for sure.
What happened last year?
Oh, well, we had the issues in the rear end from Cowtown, and so we couldn't go straight like the first few passes and couldn't figure out why. And then we were in Colorado and had some issues. So I think we ended the season on a really good note. So we're hoping to start it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have any questions for Sydnee Summers, guys, please type them into the comments. I just posted our Behind the Helmet interview on your timeline again tonight. I found it on YouTube looking for some videos of here. You're big on social media. Just remove yourself. Just pretend you're not a competitor at the Pullers Championship. Are we doing a good job promoting this event to the fans out there on social media, Sydnee? Because last year was year number 1, and it just takes time to build. What are you seeing? What are you hearing maybe from your friend or your circle of friends or polling friends or whatever?
Yeah, no, I definitely think y'all are doing a good job. I mean, anytime I open any of my social media, it's always one of the first things I see, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, even I think I've seen it some on TikTok. I mean, I know I have that app where I'm always going to see like polling stuff first because that's what I'm always looking at. But the Pullers Championship is always one of the first things I see or hear about, even if it's not coming directly from you guys. Like, I know I just the other day saw a post from Dusty that he was all getting ready, and I see other people posting about it too. That's not just you specifically.
Well, that's what makes it fun, Sydnee. The more all the pollers can talk about the event on social media with their friends, with their family, encourage them to watch the live stream if they can't be there in person. The higher the purse is for the pollers, and that's what makes this fun. The sky is the limit on this event. The way this is set up, and we're excited to be part of it. And I would say year 1 was it went well. We didn't get as big a crowd as we wanted. We know last year at this time, farmers weren't even putting crops in when the event started last year. And now we know we're a lot farther ahead this year than we are that year in the farming. I've been checking with a lot of people, and I know there's still people in Wisconsin and stuff that maybe aren't farming, but for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I called my dad today, and he was busy. He was switching our planter over to beans already. And I know last year he hadn't even done that. When I was done with all my finals, I helped him do that when I got home from school. So I know we're ahead, which is nice.
Some Blake Chance guy says, why didn't Sydnee wear her new merch? I can block him from the chat, Sydnee, if you want me to.
Should. No, it was actually, I didn't wear it because I was doing laundry today and it was dirty because I wore it yesterday.
Gotcha. Shout out to Blake, luckiest man in the world. He gets to hang out with Sydnee. So
I know.
You gonna bring him to Nashville with you?
No, unfortunately, his cousin is getting married that same weekend. So I'm missing the first big wedding family event with his family to go polling. So hopefully they won't write me off.
Yeah, we always have a saying, you're getting married during polling season? What?
Yeah.
What?
I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I don't know why people get married in the summer. Our weekends aren't free in the summer.
That's funny. That is funny. Take us back to the first time down the track on Colorblind. Where was it at, and how did it go?
On Colorblind, my first time I would have had to been 16. It was my I think it was my junior year in high school. I pulled at Buckner, my hometown pole. I definitely had a lot of beginner's luck. It was a really pretty pass, which I've had a lot of more rough ones since then, but I had beginner's luck. It was just an exhibition hook at the end. It was fun. I think Ryan, I think it was you that took a picture and you could see my helmet or my eyes on the start line and my eyes were like just so wide. Like I was so nervous, but it went.
I think that might have been me. If not, it was probably Mike.
Yeah, I remember that picture was going around for like weeks after. Like my eyes were just so huge because I was so nervous. But it went well. Had some beginner's luck. It was just an exhibition hook, but it was fun. Where's this one at? I can't tell. Is this Macon maybe?
Yeah, that was Macon last year.
I touched the brake in that pass because I thought I was going out of bounds and I wasn't. See right there how you can kind of see the glare of the chalk line? I thought that was out and it wasn't, but that was still a good pass. That was when we were finally getting it figured out this year.
Your dad said your hand shook a little.
Yeah, they still do. I still, before and after, I shake like crazy. The nerves still haven't stopped.
Yep. No, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
That happened the very first time I pulled. That's my dad's favorite story to tell is when I got off the Oliver 2055, the first time I pulled, he was like, "Did you have fun?" And I was like, "Yeah, Dad, but my legs won't quit shaking." And I remember him telling that story, but I mean, that was 10 years ago now. I don't really remember it.
No, that's a good story. I like that. I love watching you. I love watching you and your dad.
Yeah. Oh, I called him today before when you texted me this morning and asked if I was good to do this. And I was like, "Dad, I've never done this without you. What if they ask me questions I don't know and you're not there to answer?" He was like, "You'll be fine."
Even better.
I know.
What does your dad know that you don't know, Sydnee? Let's be real.
A lot.
Whatever.
I wish I have the knowledge of him.
Whatever. Whatever, Sydney. That's funny.
I see
Who's
he's
the better?
watching now. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to, so that's good.
Who's the better driver?
I think
He's gonna punch me for saying it anyway. So
I think that I don't know. I used to probably would say that like he's more cautious and I'm more like get after it. But this past year, I mean, he only got to drive like 2 or 3 times, and he did very well the last few times he drove.
that was the most politically correct answer I've heard in a long time.
We're working on a new one for him slowly, so maybe he'll get back in the seat a little more soon.
I heard it's a 17-engine modified tractor. He's going to pull with MSTPA. So,
Yep.
17 engine.
gotta have
a custom
fun.
unicorn fart injection system too.
Dad says, "Do as I say, not as I do." That's very true.
Yep. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. If you're just joining us, and a lot of people have come on the show the last 10 minutes, talking with Sydnee Summers, talking with some competitors that are competing at the Polars Championships May 19th and 20th in Nashville, Illinois. Again, what makes this event unique, it's invite only. We took the top competitors from last year's points races, invited them to the show, and then they had until the end of the year to accept that. If they turned it down, then we filled their spot with a fan vote. So really have fan engagement. My dog's excited too for the Polars. As soon as I start talking about it, he starts barking. So that's what makes it great. We said the sky's is the limit on the purse. Trying to keep up with Mike Connie. He paid $10,000 to win the Mac Trailer Winter Nationals last weekend. So what's cool also about this event, or not last weekend, about a month ago, we had Jeff Hirt on, who was our first guest, and Doug Meissinger is going to join us in a few minutes after we wrap up with Sydnee. But we're going to do a point system, right, Yarn? So it's kind of like Bowling Green, lowest total wins for the 2 nights. Is that the deal?
Yep. We just combine your places for each night. So if you take a first and a third, you get 4 total points. And like golf, lowest score wins.
Yep. So Journey is Sydnee's dog back at home. Heard my dog bark and start growling at the house there. So it's weird.
It's a good thing I'm not home. You'd be hearing her.
Stop, Logan. Stop. So, no, really, 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 really excited to have you with us this year. It's a great event. Have you been to Nashville before to any Holzhauer's events?
I pulled at Nashville my senior year of high school, and I got 3rd out of 33. I missed second by 1/10 of an inch, and I still think about that 1/10 of an inch.
That was the shootout weekend.
Yep.
Yes, it was. That was a
I think-
great class.
I think still to this day, that was probably my best pass I've made on this tractor.
Who did you come in? Who was right in front of you? I know Justin won it, right?
Wagler was in front of me. I don't remember who was second, honestly.
It was definitely not Rhett Shorefighty. There's no way in hell that happened. So.
I'm sure Dad knows, but I don't remember.
If Morgan Schulte was watching, he would tell us, and he'd know the guy's middle name.
John Meyer Jr.
John Meyer.
John.
Would that have been what year was that?
COVID year.
COVID.
Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
Man, there was some gigantic polls for numbers and crowds. Remember that year? Because there was so few and far between. It's kind of like pulling in Europe. I saw that post this past weekend that that place was sold out. They just don't have a lot of big time polls, and when they have them, they fill the stands. And they like to party more than we do. So it's like going to a nightclub in New York when you go to a poll in Europe. So they walk around handing out little pills, stay up till 3 a.m. So I can't confirm that or deny it, but I heard it's a good time. So
yeah, I think COVID year we went to the most polls in a summer that we ever have. That was a busy summer.
Sydnee, what's the coolest thing your dad's ever done?
Oh goodness!
Give us some Ken Summer stories.
You're putting me on the spot here. Let me think.
Ken says he ate a lot of ice cream in Nashville that year. So
we did. I think he bought that gas station literally out of ice cream bars and filled our freezer in the hauler. I don't know. He does a lot of cool stuff. You never know what he's gonna do. I'll be honest.
That's fair. If you have not met Sydnee's dad, he's a good dude. Very, very good.
Tractor with me. I mean, I kind of took it over. That's pretty cool that he lets me do that.
I was going to kind of mention that.
Yeah. I definitely think that. I don't know.
Sid, how's the semester going?
Good. I have 3 finals next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll be done. I'm ready to get that over with. But this has been my best semester yet, so.
Good deal. And then you get to go put in anything? Are you getting to plant this year or no?
Yeah, I was home last weekend because I went to pick up my new shirts and stuff, and Dad was like, I'm ready for you to be home. We're going to put you in the planter, and he's excited, which I would rather be home helping him than at school, but
he says, duh, I put Cowtown on for you.
Oh, he did. And then you guys called me out because I was too nervous to even pull, and he put it on for me.
Well, he was like, it was like your farm stock class, right?
Yeah. I always get so nervous, and then I'm done, and I'm like, I don't know why I freak out, but I still do that.
I like it. I like it.
He's gonna. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Sid.
I was just gonna say he and Cole are doing the finishing touches on our tractor on Wednesday, hopefully to get it ready for Nashville. It's still in the trailer from that open house we went to in April, but they're gonna unload it and get it finished up, hopefully.
I hope you never lose that, because the time you climb into that seat and you don't feel butterflies, it's time to hang it up and walk away.
Yep.
Or drive a mini rod, Sydnee.
No, you guys know how I feel about this. That's terrifying. Fun to watch, but I don't think I could ever do it.
Yep, for sure.
Would the answer to that question change if you knew that Mom wasn't watching? Love you, Mom.
She's already saying no. Honestly, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. They freak me out. They're fun to watch.
They're a handful, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, the guy that was on before, when he was talking about driving the two different things, he said that the mini rod was the more comfortable thing to drive. I thought that was crazy. Kudos to him. I could never.
We'll take you over and introduce you to Jeff.
Yeah. Once you talk to Jeff for a couple minutes, it'll all make sense.
Yeah. Although I agree with you. When he said that, I thought that's not what I expected out of
Yeah,
Jeff.
me neither. I was like, wow, okay.
There's a handful of pullers that every announcer, every tech official knows what's about to happen in the next couple of minutes. And Jeff Hirt is one of those guys. Every photographer, every videographer, like you don't ever miss Jeff Hirt going down the track in anything. So, because It's awesome. It's awesome. Mark Ulmer says, they're easy to drive. Coming from the legend, Mark Ulmer, who could drive a donkey. So, yep.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Sid, we just wanted to have you on for a quick 15, 20 minutes tonight and just talk about and, show you to the world a little bit and say that you're coming to the Polish Championship. Bruce, ask your question, and then I'm going to ask my question, and then we're going to go to Meissinger. So.
Okay.
All right, honey, you know the question. What would you drive? If you could take anything, past or present, and go pulling with it somewhere, what would you take? Where would you take it, and why?
I would definitely say the farm show, National Farm Machinery Farm Show. Would love to pull there. I would definitely say a big pro. I think last time I answered, I said Steve Bailey's pro, just because grew up around him and
Rotten
that's
Buck.
first hauler from. I don't know if I had to pick a different one this time. Maybe Wagler's new pro. It looks like he's finally getting it figured out and doing good. So that'd probably be my answer this time.
You know that when he sees this, he'll probably offer.
Probably.
Are you ready for that?
We'll wait
we are.
We'll wait till Dad gets his done and I can drive that probe first before I get on someone else's.
Fair enough. But the question is, you don't have to break. If you break it, it's no big deal.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it.
Well,
Justin
will
just take it back and build a new
absolutely.
motor and put it on the dyno for 800 years, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sydney, your Uncle Donald Reeves says, mini rods or cake. I was breathing again within 15 minutes.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. No way.
Dude, that's funny.
Yeah, that's well played, sir.
That was good.
Donnie Reeve coming through. I love it. Okay, Sid, so my question I'm going to start asking everybody is,
Okay.
if you could put one cartoon character on your tractor that most resembles your tractor and its attitude, what cartoon character would that be?
That's a good question.
This came from last week. So.
I'm not good with like cartoon characters, but probably something that's like bipolar.
That would be the Tasmanian Devil.
Okay, there we go. That's my answer then.
Nice. Well, Sydney, thanks for coming on. Finish up your semester strong, because somebody's got to take over that family farm. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah.
And
keep
everything. Gotta keep Grandpa happy. Thanks, Sydney. Take care.
See ya.
See you, honey. Tell Blake we said hi.
I will.
We need walk-up music for our next guest. You know?
He's already making faces in the green room.
Like the Bulls Jordan thing.
Yes, yes. Like when they dim the lights at the United Center. Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Right, that's not
Doug.
That's not Doug. He's not wearing flare hair.
He's
Don't let him
saving
on the
it.
show until he comes back.
We're still in work clothes.
He's saving
Okay.
it. He's saving it for Nashville.
All right.
He's saving it.
One
for
of these
Nashville.
days, you're going to show up to a poll, and every damn one of us is going to have one.
That's all right.
Jeanette, remind me to talk to you about that later.
I've talked to her too about it like 10 times, and I always forget. So, but it's all good. Here's your past Saturday night last year, Douglas.
Yep. Mm. Yep, where we pedaled her a little.
No, we joked at the beginning of the show. Jeff Hirt was having some internet troubles coming on, and we joked that a year ago nobody east of the Mississippi had heard of you, and now the whole world's heard of you. So that's pretty fun, Doug. Thank you for coming out last year and having a lot of fun, laying it to the boys a little bit. So
Yeah, that was a blast.
thanks for sending that video the other day. Where is the tractor still? Like, is it still very naked?
Oh yeah,
Is
motor's still on the engine stand. It's all the turbos are in boxes yet, so we're not making any big major changes. Just some little finicky things, so it'll go together pretty quick. That's the bad part of the Super. You have them apart and together so many times. You might do that in a weekend. It ain't a big deal.
coming from the man, the myth, the legend. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Do you start
what was
finding
the-
yourself planning certain things, like you'll brace things a certain way and kind of make it modular, where like, all right, I can take off all the turbos come off at once?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we're set up with it to where we can just pull the turbos off, or we can leave the turbos attached to the head and pull the head, the turbos, everything off, and like if we just have to get to the liners or something, we can just pop everything off the top, the head, the turbos, everything will hang off to the side, and we can drop new jugs in it and drop it back together just in a little bit of time. Yeah, you kind of think about that after you build a few of them. The first one we built, we just stuffed things where we could put them and did not make it very user friendly. So you get a little better at that as you go.
Yeah, I imagine. I would imagine.
And there's a lot of things we'd like to do different with it, but we just don't have the room to do it.
Meaning physical space under the hood.
Yeah.
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 I mean, there is a limit. There's some tractors out there where they've done the 125% of stock, and there is a limit at which it starts looking a little silly. The proportions get out of
Oh yeah.
Get out of control a little.
Yeah. And we
Now,
might
Doug,
be a little bit.
And
Go ahead.
yours is a little bit oversized as well, correct? That's not factory
Oh, no.
G1000. I didn't think it was.
We're way wider than what a G1000 would. Wider, taller, longer. That's what we had to be just to get under there what we had.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Yours
pick yellow?
doesn't look wrong doing it.
No, it doesn't.
And that was part of the deal with that chassis, the way that the roll cage and everything's set forward. We was trying to figure out what kind of sheet metal we could put on it that it didn't look dorky, and kind of went back to, well, Dad used to pull with the G1000 Vista back in the day, and everything set forward on that tractor a little bit, so that's why we did this.
Did you ever have one where the roll cage was back further, or this is what you're used to?
Yeah, the Kryptonite chassis we set back over top of the axle on it. So,
Do you have a preference as far as how each one feels?
Before I didn't, but now that I've gotten used to this, I would prefer to have a chassis with everything further forward. Basically, it just comes to a weight ratio deal. Anything you can get in front of that axle further forward is more front end weight, and this is something that we're struggle with in this class is enough front end weight.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're fortunate that our chassis is super light, that we can put probably more weight up on the front end, except for maybe Esden and a couple other guys.
How many different iterations? I guess how many different pulling vehicles have you built for yourself to campaign?
2. Well, 2.5, I guess. One we've rebuilt several times, the old Kryptonite. It started off as just a 466, like your light limited pro, and then we went to a mild super stock, and then a 4-charger super with it, and then this deal here come about kind of it was Mark Ulmer's idea. We can blame him for that.
There's a lot of things in pulling that can be blamed on him.
Yep.
Most of them pretty good things.
I like to use him as the fall guy. I have a brand new chassis and it's still sitting here. We don't have it completely finished, and we sold the old chassis to Chris Bates. We had parts and pieces and everything laying around, and this is the old High Strong, which Mark Ulmer had, the D21 at that time. And
no kidding.
Mark's like, I've got a chassis. Do you got enough stuff to put it together? He said, let's build a tractor. Like, okay. So took my brother and I about 3.5 months, and we put that thing together just on a kind of a whim. And then we kind of started having fun with it. And then we went stupid with the motor and started experimenting and doing a lot of things that people said wouldn't work. But seems to be working for us. So we're having fun with it. Now the new chassis is still sitting there. We're just still running this old one that's been wrecked and rebuilt and bent and chopped on, and still goes down the track pretty straight.
It's hard to argue with success.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Doug,
We've
what
made
power
lots of-
plant? Doug, what power plant
What's
do you
that?
run in, Scrappy? What power plant?
It's an international motor.
Okay.
Or international block.
Yep.
That's all they
Mike
can really
Steph knows
identify that's international, I guess.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
What's been the biggest challenge to overcome with that particular tractor or that particular combo as it sits right now? What did you fight with the most, and how did you beat it?
We had this idea on a motor program and turbo setup, and when we did that, we literally just run out of fuel, and we have struggled finding enough fuel for it. Then a few phone calls and a little bit of advice from a couple different pullers, and running into some dead ends. We ended up at one shop, and they pretty much give us a monster pump, and it loves it. And it's just when everything just fell together. Up until then, you just constantly fought it. But when you get everything balanced, as far as the right amount of fuel for the amount of air, and everything just gets happy, and it all just starts falling together. Then we started finding some of our other weaknesses and bearings and what have you, but we remedied them problems, and seems to be pretty healthy now.
How long did you fight with like the fueling and running out of fuel?
About 2 years.
That was. How do you keep the mental, let's keep moving forward? I mean, let's face it, you guys are out in the middle of nowhere. It's 10 hours for you or 8 hours for you to make your closest hook or some crazy number. I know you told me at one point. How do you not just, you know what, screw this. I could buy a boat and there might be a lake somewhere.
Have you seen any lakes in western Kansas?
Yes, I know you're in western Kansas. I know you live in the desert. There has to be at least one puddle that you could put a boat into. You know, but I mean, you know where I'm going.
100 miles, but no, I'll just to answer your question. That's honestly the only thing I can say is we're just too dumb to know better. We know we can make this work. We just keep going until we figure it out. It's when you just don't
on
quit.
Behalf of all of us, we appreciate you being too dumb to know better. Because we've had a lot of fun over the years. All of us have had a lot of fun with you, and I mean, I remember when you were struggling, and I remember thinking, why do they keep doing this? So thank you for your dedication. That was where I was going with this. Was thank you for your dedication to the sport.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean, there was one summer we dedicated one whole year. My turbo guy, Rodney Davidson at Diesel Performance Engineering, we pretty much just dedicated 1 year to just experimenting with turbos. We didn't do nothing to the motor. We left the motor totally okay. And we blew up more turbos that summer than I have in years. I mean, we'd put a set on, we'd blow them up. Put Mark Ulmer's loaner turbos back on, we'd go to the next pole, we'd get some of the other set up, we'd blow that up. Then we started getting figured out where we were wanting to go and how we were able to do what we're doing, and things just all kind of started falling together. Well, then we kind of just put that on steroids with this other motor, and that's when we ran out of fuel. So, yeah. But we blew up a lot of turbos. We got a lot of shrapnel laying around.
Yeah, I imagine there's lots of coffee table paperweights.
Oh,
big, heavy, and in your case, real big, heavy ones.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had one of them. We actually split the exhaust housing in 5 pieces in the center section. It was nowhere really to be found. It disintegrated
Still
pretty good.
Somewhere in orbit, you mean?
Oh yeah, it's probably laying on the track somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
What track has traditionally been the kindest to you?
I'd have to say Rock Valley. But,
Here's a video. Here's your video of your 411-foot pass there. So.
yeah, I shouldn't have backed out of it. I should have went up there and seen Fred.
Doug, are you running 3 or 4 turbos?
That's a 4 Charger setup.
That's a 4. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his wife, Jeanette. She's a professional ether sprayer.
Yep.
So
she has no feeling in her fingertips, nor does she have fingerprints.
Ether is taking them all away.
On a hot summer day like that, how much ether does that thing take to get happy?
By the time we start it in the pits and warm it up 2-3 times, it's miserable getting heat in it. Once we get some heat in it, it's not too bad, but we'll generally go through about a half a case.
Wow.
Just to get it. I've got 2 cans under the seat plus another big cat canister. So I'll constantly be feeding it, like right now with the big canister and with the 2 cans that are on the button on the handle.
You know,
I still remember that picture I took of Jeanette with like 6 cans visible at the Iowa State Fair in 2020. I don't know if she hated that picture or if she really loved it, but I thought it was a really neat shot, and she wanted it.
Oh yeah. No, it's actually better now than what it was. I've made a few changes to the motor. Now that we have enough fuel, we can make it a little easier to get started and stay running. The old setup, we pretty much had to have just a constant fog of ether in it just to keep it running. It's a lot better now than what it used to be.
Now, when people, when pullers say, especially diesel super drivers, competitors, when they say we need to build heat in the motor, for those of us or those who are watching, how much heat are we talking? What temperature does that thing need to actually get to where it'll actually sit and run on its own? Or will it never until it's at such high RPM that it wouldn't be anywhere near safe to stand near it?
We run a dry block. There's no water in the head. It's a billet head. So we don't really have no true temperature that the engine would get to, like what you would say, water-cooled motor. The only thing I really have for an indication is my oil temperature that we monitor. And when I see the engine oil temperature get up around 160 to 180 degrees, then there's enough heat in the engine that it'll kind of stay running on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the poles, it's just like a regular old farm tractor. Then it'll just sit there and idle and run. You can drive it wherever you want to at that point.
He just said a regular old farm tractor.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing Doug Meissinger has ever said. Yeah, it's just like a regular old G1000.
Yeah, just puts around, man. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my setup didn't work tonight. I was going to try to get Schlauba in the back of the green room, Doug, and I was going to have you talk off a little bit, say you're going to kick Bone Twister's ass again, and I was going to bring him on the screen, but Travis wasn't able to come on tonight. We were going to have a little bit of fun. So,
well, we can still have a little bit of fun. He just can't, play back.
True.
I mean, well, we've never really heard any response as to whether he found all of his nuts or not. I
That's
guess
exactly right. It's fairly clear to me, Doug, that Bootsy is still looking for his nuts.
He said after last year, I don't care if I got to set that thing on kill. I'm going to kick Scrappy's ass. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I guess we'll just see who's got the more kill, huh?
Yep. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
What I like about the Pullers Championship is getting all the diesel supers together, in one spot, which is fun. And then for fans in that Southern Illinois area, they don't get to see a lot of big diesel supers like this, or the big 4-engine mods, or the super semis. We're really bringing a show to that area that they normally don't get to see. That's why I think I love the location. Obviously, we love Holzhauer because we'd be dead without him, but without his support. But it's just fun. It's just fun to put on that kind of show for the fans, and like for you, Doug, that to really get some national recognition as one of the top diesel super stocks in the country. I mean that's fun for me because you live in the mountain time zone. I found that out today.
Yeah, we truly do.
I was going back. So Charles and I were going back and forth with when Jeff Hirt was coming on. Jeff's Eastern, we're Central. Charles is Eastern. And then that's why I moved your time around like 3 times today. And then you said, which time zone? And I'm like, what is going on today? So, got a lot of time zones. So.
Yep. Yeah,
Doug, how many times have you squared off against, some of the NTPA Grand National competitors, like Blagraves and Boots?
Travis, he used to come to some of the outlaw shows years ago, and we'd pull with him a little bit back and forth then. That was still pretty much back when it was the old gray mare. He never showed up once he painted it. Then Blagraves, run into them a little bit like in Western Farmer Show in Kansas City, pulled against them there a couple times. That's about it. I missed the outlaw show in Texas down at Whitewright a few years ago, and when they all showed up there, but hopefully this year we'll be able to make it, and hopefully those guys can come too.
I know you did. You were at Rockwell the COVID year.
Yep.
Yes, we did. That was another year that we popped a Charger. Yep. No, we sure did. Yep.
Be cool to get you there again, but I think I believe there's a conflict with Outlaws. I don't remember what.
Yeah, it seems to be tough. Seems like there's always an outlaw show or vice versa on top of it. It's one of those deals where going forward we won't go hit all the big circuits, but we'll probably make a sacrifice. Okay, this year we're gonna try to go to Rockwell, or this year we'll try to go to Toma, or this year we'll try to go do this. Not run a bunch of them, but maybe just try to go hit 1 or 2, and if the schedule works out,
that'd be cool.
Have you ever made a pass in Toma or Bowling Green?
No. I've drove through Bowling Green a lot of times, but never been to a pole there.
Doug, we had a question earlier from Russ Dostal. Do you have a favorite place to pull, and if so, why?
Honestly, for me, Wisner's probably the favorite place. Even though the track may not always be the most favorable for us. We've had more wins in Rock Valley than we've had Wisner. But Wisner's just one of them places that we just hate to miss. There's a lot of times we went to the pole in Wisner and tractor's been sitting at home in pieces. We still go anyway. Just the atmosphere, and there's just no place like it, where you're down there in the river and the trees, and you truly have to be there to experience it.
It's pretty awesome. Doug Borth and I were talking today, and he says it's too bad Bowling Green and Wisner are on top of each other. You know what I mean? From that angle.
Yes.
I'll never forget.
It would be nice if they were separate, because I think we could get some people to go to both of them if they weren't on top of each other.
I'll never forget the sales pitch that you guys that you and Jeanette put on or gave to John Foreman and Ashley on Friday night at the farm show when I ran into you guys.
Right. Yeah.
That was so cool to hear you talk about that candidly, because we say that, as media dorks, because, we love it, but it's different. It's different to hear it come from the mouth of a competitor. Yeah. Hearing somebody say, I made the trip and my tractor was in pieces at home.
Yep.
Because there was nowhere I wanted to be more than, spraying ether for some of my buddies and camping there and, having a blast with my competitors, whether I was competing with them or not.
Yep. I promise you, we've done it more than once.
And that was and sitting there listening to that was really, really cool. That was neat to hear. And it wouldn't surprise me if sometime down the road Foreman and Ashley came out.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And I have no idea what John's got in the works. I know he keeps thinking and hinting about a new tractor. I don't know if and when, but we might actually see them out this way. That might be that, and that would be super fun.
Yep. Now we just need to get Charles and some of your crew here to Brent, some of these guys to make a trip out to Wisner some year.
Mm-hmm. Brent, you've never made it out, have you? It's never.
Yeah,
you're
usually
always in
go to
Bowling
Bowling
Green,
Green.
right? Yeah,
Well,
that's what I thought.
I've got a double whammy because that is also the same weekend as my hometown fair.
That's right. You're in Armada that weekend on the mic.
Yeah, it's just so tough. It's hard to find a weekend where there's not something going on, but that's how it goes.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
And I know,
but I do want to get out to an
outlaw
show and just to see it and see all you guys. I have yet to take in an outlaw program, so I want to do it.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Like with the Jason's guys, I can't remember who was down in the pits with the camera there. If that was Doug Borth
Chandler. That was Chandler. Doug can't move that fast. Borth can't move that fast.
You're probably right. but it kind of gives the people the idea of what it is like back there in the pits and the trees, and that's probably one of the few poles that you go to, and your tractor's actually in the shade. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's so nice back there to hang out.
I don't know if I love Wisner as much as everybody else. It's neat, but sure is hard on stuff.
Yeah, you have a little heartburn about that, and deservedly so. I think everybody understands why.
But when the new tractor's done, I think I'm going to let you or Dad drive it there just those first couple times, just until we get the Wisner jinx out of it. So,
yeah, not a problem. I won't ever turn down a chance.
Doug, that also means that you're going to drive it every time it's on that east side track.
Yeah,
Jason's just superstitious enough to do that.
Yeah, you haven't seen if he had a Supra this year. We never pulled on the east side of the track. We was on the west side both nights.
Yeah.
Yep. You were.
Yeah. This is one of the nights. I think this is Saturday night. Looks like because you guys pulled a little earlier on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But those are the trees that Doug's talking about in the background. It's just awesome. Just a cool place. Doug Borth gave me a mad face. Oh, Doug. Yeah. Sorry about that, Borth.
He must be pouting a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
No, and with I believe, is it the Loop River or the Elkhorn River? It's right there just on the other side of those trees. I mean, and it's not no small stream. It's kind of cool, especially for somebody like us. We're out here in western Kansas. We never see any running water.
Who's so unused to seeing water?
Uh-oh. Mr. Poletown Nuts checking in. Wisner sounds interesting, but I can't give up 2,100 campsites of drunk fun and 40,000 in the stands at Bowling Green. No, we understand. We completely understand. So.
Yeah.
Russ says Elkhorn River. So Bill Hasenkamp says Elkhorn River. Yeah, that's how we get people commenting. We got to ask them what river's behind Wisner. So Ron Stone says Big Smoke Shootouts, Diesel Superstocks, Right, Texas, $5,000 up for grabs. Oh, Right in Rock Valley. Is that a little bit of a sweep there, Doug?
Yep, it's kind of come up with that idea is to try to get more guys to go, and with all the extra traveling and extra money, to help pay for some fuel. So taking the finish from all 4 nights, 2 in Rock Valley, 2 in Whitewright, and starts off the winter, pays down just on top of the outlaw purse. So it'll be a pretty good payout for the guys that can make that sweep.
Are you sponsoring that, Doug? Is High Plains sponsoring that?
Yeah, I'm helping sponsor part of it. Buckman Farms, Extreme Performance, and Jeremy Figgenbaum with his trucking companies helping put in on that also.
Nice.
Oh, that's who that is. All right, now, okay.
You know Jeremy?
No, but I knew that there was a trucking company that was sponsoring it.
Yep,
And I wasn't sure who it was.
that was kind of him and Tyler's idea to kind of get something like this going, because they driving around talking, how do you get more tractors to go and kind of get a shootout going. So those two kind of got the wheels rolling, and some of the rest of us jumped on board because we liked the idea.
That's cool.
It would be kind of cool to get more polls, maybe in the future, tie it in with it, some 2-day shows, and maybe get the purse a little bigger as time goes on.
I love it. Doug, I can't wait to see Scrappy back in Nashville, Illinois in 18 days. It's going to be awesome.
Well, we're going to be working to get there.
Yeah, please get there. We had you on the show. You can't let us down. So.
Well, the
Mr.
only thing
Doug,
we're missing right now is the injection pump. Weimer still has it, so someday, hopefully, it's showing up here quickly.
Jim, I have your cell phone number, and I will publish it on the internet if you don't get my
Yeah.
back in time. So.
Ryan, are you going up to Rock Valley this year?
Planning on it.
All right. We're going to talk.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I might be able to do that.
Mr. Meissinger, I'd like you to respond to the comment that Doug Borth just left. Please.
I have no idea. I don't even know where the tractor's at. I've heard, but I don't know where it's at.
Does Borth know where it is, or is he just playing? Is he playing coy?
He's playing with my emotions. Thanks, Doug.
I don't know. Is it still going to be a super, or is it going to be something else? I don't know.
Hey, we got an ad for prostate cancer. That's good. It's got the target audience.
That's fantastical.
Yep.
I heard a rumor about its whereabouts a couple weeks ago that I handily denied because I don't want it to be true.
Yes, I heard that same rumor, and yeah. No.
But there's a few others showing up out here. If they can get enough parts, we'll hopefully see a couple of the others popping out. That'll be nice having them back.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Haynes loves Screaming Demon too. Mark Olmer says,
you think we're going to see that 1206 come back out? Or 1206 or 1456? What was it?
That was Vasquez.
Yeah.
No, not Vasquez.
Yeah. Vasquez and what's his name?
Scott Frankie.
Phillip. Frankie.
Scott Frankie.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I was talking about the one that blew up in Wisner in 2019.
Yeah. It's actually back together in one piece. There's just some few little lines that they're making, some fuel lines and water lines. And
sweet.
Funny part is on that tractor, he actually was sick of it, took the hood, threw it out in the scrap iron pile. And some of the boys that worked for him one night when he was gone drug it back into the shop and started hammering and beating on it. And you look at it now, you would never know that hood was as ugly as it was and blowed up like it was. It actually looks just like it did before. They beat it back into submission. It actually looks pretty good. So it'll be back out this year. I'm hoping we'll see it with Ravenna weekend. So
if I get to see those boys, would you do me a favor? Introduce me. I'd like to buy those boys a beer.
Yep.
Hey, Doug, that's a big deal because Roos is a tight ass. So for him to buy a beer, that's legit. I love it.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to steal it out of your fridge anyway. So whatever.
It's going to be fine. So it's going to be fine. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Doug, what's one thing about you that pullers probably don't know? Fun, one of those fun fact kind of moments. You got any oddball hobbies aside from the art of throwing away money and lighting it on fire with a pulling tractor every weekend?
No, other than like to fly airplanes. That's one thing we like to do.
That's a cool hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking about how nice and fast of an airplane I could have if I didn't have a pulling tractor.
You could have an airplane that would break the sound barrier, I would imagine.
It'd probably be close, but that day might have to wait. But then the other thing, we're ranch people too. We run brood mares and studs. That's what we was doing this last weekend, was turning out some brood mares to have babies. So that's kind of the ranch part of the deal.
So these are working horses. These aren't like, you're not like breeding derby contenders and stuff like that.
No, there'll be performance type horses like for the barrel racing and rope horses, and there are a few of them that if somebody wanted to, I mean, they could go back to the track with them, but we typically don't breed them early enough to get them there.
Alan Ulmer wants to pull against you, Doug.
I'm okay.
Do a little approach match somewhere. That'd be fun.
I honestly don't. As long as it's a 5, if we're running cubic inch against cubic inch, I don't care. Let's go pull.
Yep.
I mean, we see it in the ag light super class. Just take Ulmer's 2 tractors, both of them very, very capable, very decent running tractors. They're both 504 cubic inch. It can be either one of them any night, and it's just heads up. And that's, in today's world, I think we could do that if the cubic inch was all on the same playing field.
So like when Ross jumps up against, what's the cubic inch on those big V8s and stuff like that? Is that like, what are those?
650.
And a diesel super is 540, right?
Yeah. I don't know what cubic inch Ross runs, if they're 540, if they're bigger, but I do know from just being around the alcohol tractors that I know, a lot of the V8s are not pushing out what they are capable of. I don't think they can hold it. They're kind of toned back to where they can actually get it hooked up.
I've heard that.
They get them, some better tires on them and get to where they can actually use what they can make, then it'll be a whole different ball game. That's just my opinion.
I often wonder if the guys with those, if their development would have stuck with trying to make the EFI and electronic ignition work, where you could have some power ramps down track, if they wouldn't have been able to show their potential a little bit too. It was just sticking with it and getting the development done. Yeah,
and that, you could go into the common rail and the diesels and everything, but with what it costs today, and with everything you can do, just like what you're talking about with the power bands and how you can control that takes the driver out of it, in my opinion. And this way, it's kind of still a driver's game when you're dealing with a full mechanical configuration.
No, I don't disagree with that sentiment one bit. I've often advocated from that angle over the years. I do agree with that. And you're right. You're spot on with the development of it. You're talking about a system that you might be able to sell to 4 guys on the entire planet. It's not like, hey, here's this new Duramax injector and we can sell 10,000 of them.
Oh yeah.
It's 4.
And to think that it's going to be cheaper, it's not. But to get somebody to make an electronic injector that will be capable of the multi-injection and deliver the same amount of fuel that we're delivering now, you're going to be spending an astronomical amount of money just on one injector. You take that times 6 or 8,
right?
It'll make our fuel systems that we're running now look cheap, and we're dealing with that just in our business side of things. Just like for some of the Cummins injectors for a common rail 15-liter motor, they're anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400. That's just a stock injector. That's not even nothing fancy.
Yep.
So what does High Plains Performance typically work on? You're not all pulling motors, right?
No, it's like your over-the-road truck engines, big diesel motors. We're an engine rebuild shop and a machine shop, so we can recondition blocks and do a lot of machine work. That's what I was doing tonight before I come in here. I was just finishing a block that needs to get off the machine.
Good deal. Well, Doug, we're excited to have you at the Pullers Championships in a couple weeks. Thank you for all that you do, and thanks for making it fun. Thanks for giving us a storyline, Doug. It makes it fun. We love it. Absolutely love it. Talking about old Scrappy and your undefeated season. So it was a good 2022 was a good one.
That was probably just more luck than anything.
Hey, take it and smile.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Take it and smile. Well, thanks for coming on tonight, Doug. Oh, Ryan, ask your question.
Yeah, let's go pulling somewhere. What would you take, past or present? Where would you pull with it, and why?
Honestly, I would probably have to take Dan Taylor's 280 white.
Oh, in Canada?
We want to see the pretty girls in the check-in booth.
Nice.
We've never had that one either, guys. That's 2 tonight. That's 2 tonight. That's fun. Parker up in the registration booth with the girls.
Where would you pull it? Where would you pull it?
Really don't know. Someplace we haven't been yet. Really don't know. Have to probably think about that a little bit.
I'll come back to you on that.
Yeah.
Doug, what cartoon character most resembles your tractor?
Well, it's Scrappy. Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
That was an easy one.
We kind of have to hold him back a little bit, grab him by the collar and tone him down some.
Oh, I love it. Doug, thanks for coming on tonight. Tell Jeanette hi, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Okay, buddy?
You bet. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, things went well tonight, except for Jeff Hirt's internet. Otherwise, I thought we had a good show, guys.
Yeah.
It cooperated eventually.
He said he reset it. He said he reset his router. So.
Yep.
Doug Meissinger has so many layers. Every time we sit down and talk to him and interview him, we learn just a little bit more.
Yeah. Very, 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 very smart man. So before I forget, we, the Beer Money Pulling Team, are going to be in Columbus, Texas this Friday and Saturday for Zychek's hometown pull, Thunder by the River, Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. It's our first live stream ever, guys. So for those of you that are looking for something to do this Friday night or Saturday night, beermoneypulling.tv. So then this weekend we have that, and next week we can go to Hansel Sullivan Memorial Pull for that, and then we'll drop everything off at Nashville, Illinois, and then we'll hang out with all of you guys for a couple of days. It's going to be a good time. So, but the live stream for the Pullers Championship, just go to thepullerchampionship.com, and then all the information's on there. Zolik is doing all that with his team, does an awesome job. So, awesome job. I just want to give a shout out to Doug and Ron. And Mackenzie and Chandler are loading up in the motorhome heading south on Wednesday. So, and I think the weather, it's going to be a lot warmer where they're going. Columbus, Texas is a long ways from home. So, tried getting Cole Sidecheck to come on tonight, but Cole's like, Jason, I would rather poke I'd rather poke a pitchfork in my eyes and come on and be on live on anything on the internet. I said, well, Cole, we don't want that. That'd be bad. So,
the key to getting an interview with Cole is to catch him off guard.
Yeah, and have him win Louisville.
Well, yeah, but he knew he had to talk then, and he had Dave interviewing him. But I got a good interview out of him one night. I think it was back in 2019 at Wisner, and he was staged in the trees, and I was live on Facebook on, I think, Tractor Zoom, and I just kind of walked over to him and BS'd with him for 3-4 minutes and had him tell me a little bit about the truck and yada, yada, yada. And he did fine. You just got to catch him off guard, because if he thinks about it, that's when he psychs himself out.
True. And that's how most people are.
Yeah, you're right. And there's no good reason for it. It's just, we get inside our own heads. Holy crap.
What?
I just got a text from Krieger. Gosh, that makes me sound an awful lot like Dave. Gordon Lightfoot just died.
Yep, I saw that on my Facebook feed.
Wow. I'm going to have to listen to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, all 39 minutes of it before bed.
Gordon Lightfoot wasn't a tractor puller, was he?
Nope.
No.
He wrote song. He was a folk singer from the 70s and 80s, and wrote some great music. I don't think that comment from Ron Stone was about Gordon Lightfoot, by the way.
Ron, you had Gordon Lightfoot at the shop in Columbus?
That's awesome. Please tell me you did an acoustic set.
Oh, Stone, you're awesome. Hope you got that live on Facebook. So, yeah, Ron loves Sundown. Great tune. Yeah. I did.
Oh, one of my favorites.
I've never heard of Gordon Lightfoot in my life. I'll have to check that out. So,
what is? Oh my!
You've never heard of the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yeah, but I didn't know who sang it.
Yeah, that was him.
Yep.
He was a Canadian. He was a Canadian folk singer. He made some amazing music.
So I want to thank again Prescription Tillage Technology for stepping up and being the title sponsor of the Pullers Championship. Chaos Fabrication, one of our class sponsors. Lutz Agency as well for all their support. Of course, Mr. Holzauer. And then we picked, who was our newest sponsor today? Did you say Worley came in, Brett?
Yep, Worley Custom Fabrication hopped on as a sponsor, as well as last week we also had Cap Bros Motorsports. So thank you, Pete.
Pete!
Attaboy, Pete.
Awesome.
Yeah, Pete.
Pete's a great
Talked
guy.
to Pete not long ago. He's doing well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So next Monday, Charles' daughter has a band concert.
No
so
problem.
I need you to run quarterback. Did you say you had a fair board meeting?
You know what? I was speed reading that when you posted that while I was at work, so I thought it was for tonight. So my board meeting is done. I'm good to go next week.
Okay, cool. Let's try to line up 2 or 3, pullers again. I don't know who else did you? I want to get. Shoot, I forgot the kid with shark bait.
Jesse Warren.
Yeah, we need to get him on. Brent, I called Charles this morning and I just said, hey, we need to get some guests on that really move the needle. Like I watched your post, when you posted them, Brent. And Sydnee always moved the needle. Doug always moved the needle. Sharkbait always moves the needle. Hirt always moves the needle. I want to get those big names that people really react to on social media and get them on the show to help promote it. So if you guys can reach out to some people and let me know who we can get on. These nice 15, 20-minute segments like this, these work well. So to get people on.
I'll bet we can get Ryan Anderson on.
Line it up. Get 3 people. Let me know. Use our chat. So. But I know Jesse Warren would be Sharkbait always that truck. That's another one of those vehicles, kind of like Jeff Hirt. Like the tech official always gets a fire extinguisher close by, and the announcer's like, "All right, here we go."
He's a neat guy too. He's one of those guys where you want to talk about someone in the industry who's doing stuff that no one else is doing. He definitely fits that bill.
Yes,
I've never got to see him run, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it's something else, especially when it goes.
I've got to see the diesels in dark corners, Brent. So
yeah, it's pretty cool when we have almost half the class is non-Cummins. We have 4 non-Cummins in that class.
That's outstanding.
That doesn't happen very often. So
no.
That's going to be I'm excited for that class. They always put on a good show, and I'm excited to see Jaden Littman pull. It'll be your first time in competition. So that'll be kind of another just like headliner. Lindsey Campbell will be the first time outdoors in a mini rod. So it's going to be a lot of
some debut stuff, which is good
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting on a couple stragglers here to get registered. But we should have most classes, all the classes besides more than likely semis and potentially mods will be not full. Semis, man, those guys are still waiting on parts. I swear they're the ones that have the hardest time getting a hold of things. But there's a lot of people interested. It's just parts becoming an issue. But I think if all things work out, we should have 8 or 9 in the class.
That's awesome.
So
take it.
We just
take it.
Got to keep our fingers crossed. And then mods, we should I think we'll have at least 9. I'm hoping that we can fill all 10.
Awesome.
So awesome. But I want to always do this, run down all of our list of sponsors, because without them, it's literally not possible. And the very first person we need to thank is Brad Holzauer. Without that, honestly, without him, it's impossible to do this. I guess Sullivan's would be a decent one too, because
that makes sense. Charles.
Yeah.
because then we could talk about
Yeah.
him. So, Borth, if you're still watching, get a hold of Donnie and let's set that up.
So
Yeah,
just gonna run
we
down.
could listen to Papal Wayne for hours.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That's smart, Brent. Sorry, Brent.
Gonna run down the sponsorship here. So 618 Motorsports, Acela Raceware, Egg Protect One, AgriMax, Egg Venture, Waymire Seed, Apex Turbo, Beer Money Pulling Team, Big St. Charles Motorsports, Built Diesel Mafia, Cap Bros Motorsports, Sempico Lubricants, Chaos Fabrication, Corsa Data Acquisitions, DeKalb Asgrow Seeds, Jonathan Schneider, Eli List, Fair Valley Performance, Farm Credit Illinois, Gateway Seed, Esden Bartling, GMR Motorsports, Hooked Up Pulling Productions, HT Specialties, Heritage Iron Magazine, Holzhauer Auto and Motorsports Group, Holzhauer Pro Motorsports, Hurricane Specialized, Miley Machine and Fabrication, Joe Bush Egg Repair, Kawasaki Parts Warehouse, Kuzak Family, Lutz Agency, Modern Machine and Tool, SRMD Solutions, Prescription Tillage Technology, Pro Polar Tires, Salem Bean Performance, Schultz Mortgage Team, St. Charles Harley Davidson, Super Clean, The Track of Holzhauer, and Worley Custom Fabrication.
I think we got one more I know of that I think is coming as well.
Yeah, I know there's definitely a couple more coming. I know Carrie, who works for Brad, she's got a couple that are lined up that she's finishing up with. So we still have I would say probably 4 or 5, I would think, that potentially are still going to be coming on here yet. I know I've been talking to a couple of them that are still interested. They just haven't decided. And same with Doug Orth. He's been talking to a couple. So it's been a good year, honestly, for us with getting sponsorship. And we kind of set out to have a goal. We're close to the goal. We're not 100% there yet, but we're still trying here with a couple of weeks left to go. And it's, 19 days. What is it? 18 days? Yeah, 18 days.
But that's when the event is, but that doesn't mean it's the end of our commitment to you as a sponsor. I mean, that continues right on through the remainder of the year, you know?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's coming quick. And again, it's May 19th and 20th at the track at Holzhauer in Nashville, Illinois. Start PM is 6 p.m. both nights. The gates do open at noon. I know we had a couple of people ask about that. So yes, you can come early. We encourage it. Definitely get out there and talk to the pullers and just kind of hang around. And we have plenty of vendors this year. We'll have the JCs doing food like they do every year. We have the same truck that was on the pit side last year, the food truck there. We have a taco truck. We have ice cream, and I don't even remember everything that we have, but there's a few more vendors this year, some more choices. Again, we will be selling adult beverages on site as well. $20 a night, and that $20 also gets you into the pit area. Camping is first come, first serve. It is primitive camping. Please just reach out to us beforehand if you can, just so we have an idea of how many people are going to be there, just so we have enough room for all the haulers, and we'll try to get all the campers in that want to go. The Raminator monster truck will be on display as well.
Yep.
We have a kids zone again this year with a bounce house. Still trying to work out a potential kiddie tractor pull, pedal pull. We're still trying to figure out details for that. But again, the bounce house, that was kind of a hot thing last year for the kids. And we are going to try to hook the Raminator to the sled as well. So that is definitely in the works. So we're going to give it a shot. And what else? Live stream is $25 a night if you're just going to buy a single session, or it's $40 for the weekend. You can find that on our website, thepolarschampionship.com. Click on the live stream tab. If you want to find all the information, it's on there under the event info tab. If you want to find the pullers that are going to be competing at the event, click on the pullers tab, and then you can go through all the different classes. Still taking vendors. If you want to set up and sell your merchandise or parts or whatever you want to do, display anything, you can do that as well. I know we have Brian Cruz, who's going to be there selling farm toys and pulling replicas and things like that. So if you want to do something like that, just click on that vendors tab there and fill out the form and send it to us. You can also just reach out to us ahead of time just so that we are aware. And then we're going to be, for Jerry, we're going to be pulling the drawing the numbers for super farms and 4-wheel drive trucks. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then or Wednesday, one of the two. And then either Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to do, I think, mini rods and another class. I'm not sure. Super stock diesel trucks, I think I was going to do. And then Jerry, just for the diesel supers, we're still waiting on potentially one. Well, we have one more person. It's just whether it's going to be who. We're waiting on somebody currently. So hoping to have that answered by the next couple days.
Thank you, Yarn, for all you do, sir, for this event. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like you have 3 jobs.
Feels like it some days too.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't. Did I miss anything? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Also hotels. They are definitely starting to fill up near like the closer. So Pinckneyville and like Oakville and don't look at the one in Nashville. That one's full. Sparta. Like those hotels, they're starting to fill up. So if you want to get to the closer hotels, definitely book them now. Otherwise, you will be in Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon has like 12 hotels itself, but the closer ones are starting to fill up pretty quick. So definitely do that. And then if we do fill up with camping, you can go just south of Nashville, just a couple miles, and there's a state park there that has camping available. So you can, or if you just want to in general, you can camp there as well.
Or you can call Esden Bartling and tell him your name is Esden Lane, and he might let you on. No guarantees, but
I want to get everybody named Esden in one picture down there. So, or you can stay in the La Hacienda La Camper with Z. Adam Wilson. Look for his big, sexy white Ford truck.
And then if anybody wants to know the polling order for each night, you can click under the event tab or the event info tab. You can find the polling order for each night. It's more than likely set. Saturday night might change depending on what we find out from the night before. But it should be
a lineup tab, Brent?
Nope. That's where you can go and find the lineups currently.
Okay.
So if you click on there, we've already drawn 2.
Yep.
2 of them. And you can
Esden's got first hook. That's perfect.
Yeah, he's last hook on Friday night and first hook on Saturday night.
Perfect.
And then t-shirts, those will be for sale again. We'll have those designs here posted once we get the final approval on them. And the other thing too is we want to thank John and Christy with the PPL for running our event. It's going to definitely streamline things a lot more this year. There are changes to the facility as well. There is a concrete pad poured on the west side of the warehouse building. They call it Jeremy's building. So pullers will be coming around the backside of the big white shed and scaling there and having their hitch heights or the drawbar measured there. And then they'll be staging all the way down the north side of the track. So right in front of the 618 Motorsports shop. So it's going to free up that whole area, and it'll be a lot easier to leave a lane open this year too for rigs that want to get out on Saturday night after they're done pulling. So things should be a little bit less chaotic than it was last year. And then again, having them do it, who work with each other all summer long, it's going to definitely improve a lot of things with logistics wise, and hopefully speed up our show and get it under that 4-hour mark.
Love it. Did Randy Overton get back to you today at all, Charles?
No, he did not. So I'll pursue him for next week.
Okay. We could have Van and Patty, but they have to drive into town and sit on top of the hill for internet. So we don't want to do that to them.
Yep.
We've done that to them before in the past. So Yeah, if you're a puller and you're watching, please share anything you can about the Pullers Championship live stream. Be in our attendance. Fans, same thing. We're doing this for the pullers to, have one of the largest purses out there, and it's a great way to start off the season and celebrate our champions and our top performers from last year, as well as the people that you want to see there.
Yep. So. And this year, the Friday night champions also get a $500 bonus from Lute's agency. So just another added benefit for the pullers this year. And Super Clean is doing the same thing as last year, handing out samplers to all the competitors, and then putting together a winners package with, I think there's like 5 or 6 different products from Super Clean, with like a floor absorbent and a degreaser and all sorts of stuff like that. So that will also be a part of it. Trophies have been made. Paul did make those again this year. So there'll also be a trophy, as well as big checks. Brad loves big checks, so we're going to.
So does Happy Gilmore.
Yep. So we're going to be doing that again. And yeah, hopefully we can have a good payout. The more people that purchase live stream, more people that attend. It's just, the sky's the limit.
Yep.
It could be like we set out to do. We want this to be the largest purse in pulling history.
We've run the projections. Like, it's not impossible. It's not crazy.
I mean, we get the size of, Hutch even. Those numbers, Hutch is a big event, but it's not even close to being the biggest event in the country.
No.
And those numbers the numbers for the payout it's impressive. So
ginormous.
Now, if we get the size of Toma or Bowling Green,
oh geez,
we're talking $1 million payouts. So
yeah, yes,
or for the purse.
That's how it should be. But that's another show. So, well, mortgage kicked my butt today, guys. I want to go to bed. So thank you to Jeff Hirt. Thank you to Sydnee Summers. Thank you to Doug Meissinger. Thank you to Charles, Brent, and Roos and his kitty cats for joining us here tonight on Let's Grow Pulling Live.
That's actually mine that's yelling in the background currently.
Yeah, Jeremy, we're going to do that show on purse history after the Pullers Championship. So Jeremy sent me some interesting facts that got on pulloff.com. So that's going to be a whole separate show. So
yeah, that's an interesting thread.
That's
for sure.
That's why when people say they don't like full pull bets, I go, come on, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, all right. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. Listen to us on iTunes and Spotify if you don't catch us live. Again, thanks, Jeff, Sydnee, Doug, Charles, Ryan, Brent. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
See ya.